What's up, everyone? Ali Sharaki here, and you are joining us to watch our show, Money and Investing Talk with Ali Sharaki and Kian, or maybe you're listening on a podcast on all platforms. Yeah,
Spotify,
Spotify,
Anchor, or Google
Anchors, everywhere.
Podcasts.
Uh, in today's podcast, we want to talk about the compound effect because it's quite funny. When I'm like 35 years old, like 30 years old, I went to start learning about money, and the guy was talking about compound effect, and I was thinking, who's gonna increase that? Are you gonna increase it? Are they gonna pay me interest? And I was thinking, like, what is he talking about? I couldn't
What
understand.
is compound effect?
Yeah, I couldn't understand what compound effect is because nobody ever in my childhood talked about the compound effect and what the effect of compound effect. So that's why we decided to talk about it because it's so important, and that's how I started from from zero. When I started investing, that's how I started, and I didn't have no money. Nobody gave me no money. Some investor, like my mentor, his mom gave him £200,000, so he started investing with £200,000. Obviously, it's not the art. When you have £200,000 and you start investing, of course you're gonna have money coming in, and you don't have to do that much hard work on it. But the art is this: when you don't have nobody to give you any money, and you have to start from ground zero by yourself, working hard, and you have to make money. That's how I started, because I was a driving instructor, working 50 or 60 hours every week to be able to just save enough money to just pay the bills. And then I decided this is not the way to live, and I can't work this long hours, so I've got to start investing. I learned about investing, and then I started investing, and I started using uh, compound effect system to build my money from having nothing, like £500. Started £500, started saving £200, £300. Even that one, I started 140. Actually, the account I started was £140, and then slowly, £5, £10, £15, and I kept adding to it, adding to it, adding to it. And after 3 years, I nearly had like £15,000, on the side. And then I used that money to start investing and start gaining more. Now I'm going to explain to you what compound effect is, but let's ask Kian first to see if he knows what compound effect is, because uh, I wish I knew what compound effect is at his age. How are you, Kian? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
So tell us about compound effect. What do you think compound effect is?
So I think what compound effect is the small steps and actions you take to get to success. For example, I've been listening to Jim Ryan for a while now, and Tony Robbins and all these famous speakers and all these people. And one of the things Jim Ryan said is, if you read or spend at least 1 hour a day of your time developing yourself or reading, imagine how much you would have learned in 365 days.
That's so true. If you want to write a book, imagine if you just write one page of it, and at the end of the year, how many pages you're going to have? 365 pages. So you already wrote your book in 1 year, just writing one page, 16 line on font 12. I've been writing my book, you can tell, yeah.
Right? And that's for anything. That's for exercise or anything, weight loss or anything.
Yeah, and like I start using now. The only one downturn, for example, I have is because I've been spending too much time on reading and studying and learning. I didn't spend enough time for my health. So now I start paying attention to my health. I'm focusing on my health. I stopped smoking last year, and it's been exactly 1 year I stopped smoking. So I'm trying to get rid of the bad habits myself. This year is about health and bringing my weight down, because just sitting at home, starting business, doing all this stuff is not helping. So you have to go out and start exercising. So what I did, like for example, last week, I just stopped the sugar and stopped eating chocolate and biscuit in 1 day. It felt really good. I did it the next day again, and I did the next day. For 1 week I did it, and nearly 5 or 6 kilo my weight was down. I felt great myself. I felt I have more energy because I didn't consume sugar. So I have to just continue doing this. Now, what does compound effect mean? Compound effect is every small thing you do, they're gonna mount up on top of each other. If you haven't read I'm making suggestion for you as well, for a book.
Compound effect book and all these books in our membership site. in
No, they are
recommendation
not on the
area?
membership
Is it
side.
not there?
No, they are not on the membership side. This is a free podcast. It's different to the one. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so we make we usually recommend our student to go and read this Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. If you haven't read that book, definitely read it. Is going to change the way you see everything. Now let me give you an example. If you are somebody who you start having a drink, like you have one can of beer every day, and then you find a friend which he's waiting a pub for you every day, 7 o'clock. Now we don't have a pub now at the moment, but let's say if the pubs are open, right, and he's waiting for you at 7 o'clock every day, and you feel guilty and you feel like you have to go there every day to have a drink with him, otherwise he's not going to like you. So what's going to happen? First day okay, second day okay, third day 7 o'clock at the same time, you keep adding one beer, then it's going to be, I want 2 beer, I want third beer, I want the fourth beer. Then suddenly,
how much should have consumed after 365 days?
Yeah, but let's say just after 1 month. After 1 month, imagine if you add 1 beer every day to your beers you are drinking. At the end of the month, how many beers you've been drinking in 4 weeks? And imagine the calories, the amount of calories going to be adding to your weight. Now that's one bad habit, right? Or you could say, okay, I'm going to use the compound effect for a good habit, like exercise, right? Or not eating sugar, or eating healthy every day and having like one cheat meal. Cheat meal.
Cheat meal.
Yeah, cheat meal. Day. Yeah, cheat day a day. Yeah. So now, if you keep doing the same thing for 30 days without having a break out of it, you're creating a habit there. So it's very important if you choose if you want to have a good habit or you want to have a bad habit. Saving is good habit. Spending, bad habit. So if you are in a habit of every day just open the Amazon app and keep pressing the button and keep ordering stuff, well, that's bad habit. You think it's nothing, but it's going to mount up, isn't it? 1 pound, 1 pound, 1 pound, 1 pound, 1 pound. At the end of the month, it's 30 pounds, right? You think it's only a pound, and that's a mistake I made. I remember my dad used to say to me all the time, it's only a pound. It's only a pound. And I think that was wrong because I only saw a pound and I kept spending it. And then I realized, oh my God, this pound.
I spent over £100.
Yeah, at the end of the month was over £100.
You might see like just £1 a month, but at the end, then it amounts
at the end, yes. So now, for example, we have an investment account, like, he's got an investment account. All my kids, they have investment account. And all I'm just putting is like £50 or £100 every month. I'm just putting inside that account. But because of the compound effect, all that money is going to mount up. In 18 years time or 20 years time, when he's 30, 35 and he wants to buy his house, he wants to do something, that money is going to mount up to at least 3.2 million pounds. By the age of 21, he's going to get at least 1.5 million pounds. So I'm going to show you an example. Now, I wish my dad would have done some investment like that for me. Let me show you, why you should invest, because it's not just it doesn't matter how much you invest. Even if you are investing only £10 a week, or for example, I gave up smoking. I started using that money to buy currency, or I even added that to the budget every month. I'm putting inside investment. I even added that. Like I realized £50 a week I was spending on cigarette. That's like £200 a month. So I added that. That's a direct debit now going out of my account to an investment account, to be invested. Now, instead of me losing money because I'm a smoking cigarette, now I start having more money because I'm not smoking.
And you're damaging your health.
Damaging my health because of the bad habit. So it's very important to be aware of the compound effect and every little thing you do. Because you might say, well, it's only one cigarette, it's only one can, it's only £1 pound. But compound effect, if you
used to say that.
Yeah, I used to say, oh, it's only one can of Coke. I'm just going to have one can of Coke. And then I realized at the end of the day, I was drinking like 3 or 4 cans a day.
You should drink that much.
Yeah, and you know how much sugar is in that? So I didn't notice this stuff because we didn't have enough education back then, right? So I'm going to share with you something because, we use this stuff inside our course to teach people about investment. But let me explain to you something here. This compound effect calculator, just make some no, let's make some money here, right? Make some calculation here to see, how much, for example, is going to be. Let's say you have like, 3,000 pound now, and you want to put on the side, and then interest rate, but it depends on your investment. If you are in a property, probably it's going to be about 5% a year, 5 or 6% a year. But in a forex, for example, after people they done the learning and they done the journey, they are starting to be profitable. They can expect to earn about 20 to 30% on each trade. Let's say minimum they're going to be making is about 30%. Let's say not even 30%. Let's say just even 20%, like the minimum percentage of interest rate on the money they're going to put in every year. Yes. So for, let's say, for how many years? Because that's how I build my money, right? So
would it take over 3 years? Or a couple of years?
You can. It depends how many years, But let's say the 3 years. I'm saying it took me 3 years to make that much money, right? So this is the 3 years, and then interval every month. I'm going to put money on top of it. How much I'm going to be putting on it?
Now you have to put money in.
Yes. So I am using that money in investment. So that money is growing because it's getting invested. Plus, I'm going to put £100 a month on top of it. Every month I'm going to put on top of it. Right?
Yeah.
Now, what do you think is going to be the answer? You ready? In 3 years, how much I'm going to have? So how much money I put in? Total deposit is the green one. I put in £6,600. After 3 years, how much do I have? It's doubled.
10.
My money nearly doubled, right? 10,318. Now imagine if that 3,001 was more than that, right? Now we also teach people how to, invest up to £20,000 a year, tax free. So
you teach all this in your course?
We teach all this stuff. This is like very basic. This is, this is very basic. But let's say if you, if you have like, £10,000 now.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
let's say £10,000 now. If you have £10,000 now, right? £10,000 now, and you are investing it in something like, stock market or forex, or even the most basic thing, the investment we have, we are teaching, some sort of indices or something, something other than property, people have money from property because they are using the leverage of the money from the bank. It's not their own money which is growing, is the money. I'll explain all this stuff in other sessions, but today is about the compound effect. Let's say if it's £10,000 in there, and you are investing it in any account, investment.
4 years.
Let's say in 5 years, right?
5 years.
Let's say 5 years, and you are putting £100 every month in it. In 5 years, just £100 every month, and also that money, the 20% I'm putting in, is the minimum income you're gonna have while you are not doing anything.
37.
So you put in £16,000.
Yeah.
How much is the balance you're gonna be picking up after 5 years? £37,000. So your £16,000, which is starting with 10,000 and then £100 every month, which is being invested inside the investment account. If you put it in a bank, you are not going to get anything for it.
Over it.
Yes. And also I didn't count in the inflation of the every year, because at the moment we are in COVID. So let's say even inflation is 0, which usually you have to add the inflation here as well. And it's going to even add more to it. You're going to have more with the inflation of the year, because that's going to be counted into it as well. But look at that. So if I want to, can you see? That's how it works when you are using the power of the compound effect. Now, is that bad?
No, it's very good.
No.
Now, what most people want, I've been seeing, they keep, they're sitting down, they're going to work morning to night, and then they come down, they watch TV.
Or same thing again with TV, right? If you are watching TV 4 hours a day, let's say after 8 o'clock, when you come home, you done your work, you done everything, you play with your kids, you done everything. 8 o'clock to 1 o'clock, right? How many hours is that? Let's say even 12 o'clock, 4 hours.
8 to 12.
Yeah,
you
4
go
hours.
To work.
No, let's say 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock night. That's 4 hours. And is your rest time. Now you're sitting down and you choose to watch TV. In 1 week, how many hours of TV you've been watching? 35 hours, isn't it? Right? Or if you say like, until 12 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock, right? That's 4 hours. 4 hours.
At night or 12 in the...
No, 8 at night, 8 p.m. to 12 o'clock. That's 4 hours.
Oh,
then
8 at night,
time, 7 days. 7 days you want to do that. That's 28 hours a week you've been watching just television. Now, in 1 month, you can time that by 4 over 100.
Imagine if you put that to learning.
Imagine if you put that to learn. Imagine if you put that to start a new business.
Now, what most people want, like,
or write your book, is our choices. Life is about our choices, the choices we make, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some people choose to just sit down and watch television and then keep doing the same thing every day. Some people choose to use that time to go and start a new adventure, start a new business. Which one of them are you? Now you know about the compound effect. Be aware of it. If you're somebody who's spending all your time doing something which has got nothing to do with your future goal, don't think it's just only 1 hour or half an hour a day on watching TV. Add them up. How many times a month, how many times a day, how many times a week you are doing it. You got to see the effect of it at the end of the month. You're going to say something, Ken?
No, I totally agree with you, like we were saying. What I was saying, what most people want is they want success and they want the nice house and the nice car and everything, but no, they're not willing to put the action and take the action to get there.
Absolutely.
And one of the things they do, they just keep resting and relaxing and doing stuff. But what you have to remember is resting isn't objective. You have to make sure it's a necessity.
Mm-hmm.
Because the objective of life is to self-develop and learn new skills and then go out there and teach it to people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what I think.
That's brilliant. Because that's how it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can choose to spend your time 16 hours a day you sleep.
Let's say we're not telling you to completely cut from your TV or anything.
No.
You can just, for example, watch 1 hour of TV.
Yeah.
And you still have 3 hours left, isn't it?
Exactly.
Those 3 hours you can spend listening to books, doing exercise, or doing anything else.
How many hours a day you spend on social media? Seriously. You don't need to tell us.
Being a consumer.
Reading other people's posts and everything. Right? Add them all together. In 1 week, how much time you are spending on social media? In old age, our parents didn't used to do this. They were much more happier. They used to spend it with their family, go and see their family, go and make cakes, do all stuff, right? Mm-hmm. You can use that time to go and do whatever you love, whatever your passion is. Learn art or do some art or something. I don't know. So be aware of the compound effect. It's a very, very useful thing in investment, but also it can be a very dangerous thing if you are using it to create bad habits, like drinking beer, smoking. Maybe they are bad habits to me, but maybe you think they are good habits. But whatever you think is bad, don't use compound effect. Now, Darren Hardy suggests something inside his book which is quite nice, and he says, if you've done something for 30 days, that's going to become a habit. But to stop it from becoming a habit, so for example, if you like to smoke, you want to smoke. I'm not saying go on and smoke, right? Because it's a bad habit. Right? Yeah, right. But if you want to test yourself, if you have created a habit of that, try to not to do it for the next 30 days. Now, if you find it very difficult to not to do it, that means you have created the habit. Now, if that's a bad habit, you are in trouble, because then you need a lot of coaching, you need a lot of counseling, to get rid of that bad habit. But if it's a good habit, you are lucky.
And that actually was because, for example, me and my dad, we've been doing lives, going for a walk and doing exercise and stuff. After 30 days, we did it. And then one day we don't do it. We miss it. Yeah. We feel guilty for not doing it.
Yeah. That's a good thing about compound effect. Your body get used to it. Your mind get used to it. And when you are not doing it anymore, you suddenly feel like, oh my God, something is missing. I can't live without this. Yeah, something is missing. Right now, like, even if I have temperature, I feel like I've got to do this podcast because I feel guilty of not doing it.
Because we've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, So Guys, be aware of the compound effect. If you have any question, please ask us any question you have. We love to help everyone to have better knowledge of money and everything. Like and subscribe our channel to our podcast channel on Anchor as well, or Spotify, wherever you are using or listening to our
Even on Apple Podcast.
Yeah, it's not going to cost you anything, but at least we know this. We are doing the right thing, and we are giving what you guys are asking. Or tell us what you want us to cover. We slowly we are breaking down everything. We are going forward, and we're adding more information, but we're covering the basic, building that foundation so you can have a better understanding of the money and also investment.
This is the whole point of these podcasts, to educate more people out there about money, because 99% of people, they don't actually know what money is.
They know what money is, but they don't understand the habit of the money. They don't understand the money blueprint, and also whatever they know, they haven't been educated in school, and also
they don't teach you in school.
No, they don't teach you in school, right? My parents never taught me about the money because they was thinking it's something bad or dirty, and actually I had to have lots of coaching to understand money on its own is not a bad thing. Is the intention and the way you are using the money is a bad thing, and we can talk about this in another session. I think we talked about this in other episode we have before, isn't it? Yeah, so you can listen to other episode before this one we have, but this episode is about the compound effect, about doing something, even a small amount, or even investing. If we're talking about investing, start investing with a very small amount. Just take it step by step, one by one, and keep doing the same thing. Now the crazy thing is this: did you know many people, they try a strategy, they try to do something, they achieve result. Guess what? They stop doing it. Why would you stop doing what is giving you result and is getting you closer to what you want to do? That's the reason why people don't lose weight. I didn't want to lose weight up to here because I've been busy with other stuff. Now I'm focused to lose weight. I'm aware of it. There's a problem. I need to lose weight because I've been sitting down doing my work all the time on the laptop. Because investment is also sitting you're on the laptop, and also because of COVID. Usually, we go out and we go for a walk and everything. But with COVID, it's been much more harder.
Drained you.
Yeah. So now I need to be aware of that. Now I start creating the habit. So I start going for a walk, maybe half an hour's walk every day, normal walk, not sudden stuff. Right, half an hour's walk. Now I feel guilty not going for that walk because I've been doing it for a few weeks now.
Like exactly what you just said, half an hour walk.
Yeah,
I was listening to Jim Ryan. What Jim Ryan said is, if you're someone who can't do push-ups, for example, or exercise, do 5 push-ups every day. 5 push-ups, then rest, then 5 push-ups, then watch. By the end of the week, you'll be able to do 15. Then you'll be able to do 20, then 30, then 50. I'll be able 5 to 50. How do I do that?
And that's exactly how I remember I was going to martial classes before, I stopped doing exercise and stuff. And that's how he made me to start doing push-up. He said to me, do 1. I couldn't even do 1 push-up because, I'm quite tall, quite big. So it was really hard for me to push myself up. I didn't have enough strength in my arms. So he made me to put my knee down and do 1 or 2 of that for 1 week, and then 10 of them in 1 week. And then after 4 weeks, I could do 50 push-ups. And then the months after, he made me to start doing it as a normal push-up without putting my knee down.
Yeah.
So he created the habit, and slowly he built the strength. But guess what? If you just do it one day,
no,
it's not gonna work. The reason people don't lose weight is because they go to gym for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
They get motivation.
Even myself, before that, I was doing this. Now I'm aware of it. I'm not gonna do this. As soon as the gym's open, it's safe to go back there. I'm gonna start creating a habit, to be able to go back to gym. Right at the moment, I'm just trying to get the habit of actually thinking about the exercise, because I never thought about exercise because it wasn't very important to me. But now I know it's so important. I'm controlling my food, the way I'm eating food. So now I overcame the habit of eating rubbish. Now I need to create the habit of doing exercise because it's first what you're eating. For example, in losing weight.
What most people do is they have the motivation. For example, on one day they say yes, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna do this, but then they do it for one day and then just quit.
And you know why? Because they haven't found the why they are doing it.
Why are you doing this? Are you doing it for your kids? Are you doing it for your family?
I just dropped the last cigarette and I didn't smoke anymore because I had a very strong why. Because he asked me, Dad, I want to be like you. When can I start smoking? That hit me like a brick in my face.
Oh, can I have some cigarettes?
Yes, and I was thinking, what? How does he know I'm smoking? I thought I'm like smoking at the back of the
No.
alley, and he doesn't know.
I can
But-
see, sir. I can see everything.
But he's been watching me from this camera behind us because we have camera around the house. So he's been watching me going to alley and smoking. I was surprised. I was very surprised. And he actually coached me in that way. He said to me, look, I want to be like you, right? You are my dad. I want to be like you. When can I start smoking? I said, that's it. I said, you know what? This is a very bad habit I have.
And that's how people they become alcoholic
Yeah.
because of their dad or their mom.
Yeah.
From their parents.
Set an example, the example. But in this session is all about just compound effect. So we need to just keep it in the subject, talk about the compound effect. Even alcohol. If you are eating alcohol every day, what do you think is going to happen after 30 days? You're going to become alcoholic. You're going to feel like if I don't, like every day at the same time, you want to drink that. If you are an OCD person, if you are Hoover in the house at 7 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock in the morning, for example, you're doing it every day. You go and drop the kids off. When you come back, you come and do Hoover at 9 o'clock. After 1 month, trust me, you find it very difficult not to Hoover at 9 o'clock. That's why it's so important. If you want to break the habit, then try different way after a week. So 1 week do it this way or at this time. The next week try to change the time or the way you do it or the order of you are doing it. That's how you break the habit. We talk about this in a different session, but be aware of creating habit.
So if you have any questions, just comment down below and let us know what do you think of the compound effect.
Yeah.
And also, if you want to listen to our past podcasts, then it's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, on our page everywhere.
Yeah.
And this was all just about a compound effect. So,
and also, if you are an expert, or it doesn't have to be expert. If you are somebody entrepreneur who who's investing and into investment, and you have knowledge of investment, and you have a knowledge about the money, or if you are accountant, if you are tax advisor, somebody who can help people to enlighten people more about this subject and help us to educate people more about the subject of money, please get in touch. And we love you to be on our show. Online is not gonna, you don't have to be worried about, you have to travel or anything. It's online. We share the link with you. You join us. We have a discussion, and we can give something back to the community and help people to have some understanding of all important things in investing. Compound effect changed my life because I did not think I ever gonna be able to have any money. But then when I start putting the money inside that calculator, I realized, okay, I want to have £15,000 in 3 years time. So I need to start putting every week this much into this investment account, not to my bank account. Because if I put it in my normal account, then it's not gonna grow. You are not gonna get, the reason is compound effect, because you are investing it, you are putting it somewhere which it grows further and further while you're adding to it. That's how the compound effect gets more stronger. But if you just put the money in one bank account and every week you just add some money in it without investing it, still, you're suddenly going to realize, oh my God, how much money I have.
The compound effect is, like you said, taking small actions and taking small steps. It's actually like the elephant, taking small bites at a time.
Yeah. So if we share this again, for example, is it that one? No, this one. Yeah. So let's say you don't invest your money. Let's say you are not into investment, which is wrong, putting your money inside the bank, and bank are using your money and doing whatever they want to do. Let's say this interest rate, let's say, is it 1%? The bank give you maybe 1% a year, 1.5%. If you are putting inside your ISA, they give you 1 or 1.5% a year. Maybe. No, it's like 1 or 1.5%. And what they do, they put that money inside the account themselves, and they invest it, and they make 20-30% and give only 1% to people. So let's say if it's only 1%, not 20%, over 5 years, and you're adding £100 to it, right? If you are just putting in normal,
is that keeping money in your bank?
Yes, if you inside your bank account without investing it anywhere. How much is going to be after 5 years? That £100 a week, you're going to have £16,000, and that 1% is just going to give you like 662. Can you see the difference when you are investing it?
Before you had like
35,000. But look at that, your £100, right? Your £100 build about £6,000. Let's say even if you don't have this £10,000, right? And you want to start saving inside your bank account, and you just in 5 years, every month you put aside £100, right? Which is wrong because you have to invest the money. But let's say you just put £100 every month aside. How much money you're gonna have in 5 years? You're gonna have £7,000 saved on the side, which you can start investing it.
7,000.
Yes, you see.
What most people do, they make the money and they just keep it in their bank account.
That's wrong.
It's just getting dust over it.
Yeah, but you just saw it yourself.
Yeah.
Right. You just saw it yourself because. Let me get this rid of this. Yeah. So you saw yourself when we put inside the investment and using the compound effect altogether, suddenly we had £38,000. But then not doing that, you only have £16,000. So the choice is yours.
Yeah.
In this session, it's not about inviting you to come and do investment, but it's about you understanding how the compound effect you just saw. Or you don't put that £100 every month aside and don't have no money after 5 years. Just do the same thing every day you are doing and just pay the bills and everything. So don't put money aside, have nothing in 5 years, or start putting £100 every month aside, and after 5 years in your normal bank account, you're gonna have £6,000 or £7,000 on the side, which you can use for anything you want, for your investment, or start investing bigger amount, right? But you can start even investing with £500 or even £20-30. You can buy shares and everything. So or you can invest that money and have it £12,000-13,000. Have it double.
Now, let's say you haven't invested before. Let's say the last 5 years you've been saving your money and not trying to spend it and not trying to invest it. If you're not happy with the last 5 years of your life and how it's been going, then you need to change the next 5 years, start investing. Absolutely.
You never ever gonna be financially free if you just become a saver. First of all, if you are somebody who's spending all the time, keep buying, shopping all the time, you're never gonna be financially free. You gotta change that habit. Then we have savers. People, they start saving money. So when you are a saver and you are not going out, you are not spending no money, you are not going on holiday, you just
in a bank.
Yeah, you just saving, and you are not investing. That's good, but you are not getting the full potential of your money. If you are investing your money can grow even further away, right? So you got to start investing it. No point putting inside the account, which is with the bank, normal banks. If you are an investor, you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Because investing changed my life. I changed few habits, stopped spending, too much money on the takeaways and everything. I realized,
stuff.
Yeah, nearly £100 a week I was spending just on takeaways. We stopped that. I cook at home.
One time, I actually spent over £200 in one day.
Here you are. You see? So you have to be aware of the small amount. They just compound up on top of each other.
And this is what the compound effect is.
And thank you for watching this video. Please write a comment for us. Tell us what you think. If we are helping you, if you like us to continue with this podcast, please tell us. Encourage us.
Yeah. Or if you want to be on a podcast next time.
Absolutely. Let us know, if you want to talk with us on a podcast. We'd love to have you here. Thank you very much and have a great week ahead.
Thank you.